You ever hear a guitar tone that's so smooth that it sounds like butter? That's what we're going to go over today. And if you want that warm, soulful R&B sound, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do in order to use it and dial in your tone with your own gear. A lot of people think R&B tone is just throwing some reverb and some delay, but that's not only it. It's just part of the story. And if your foundation isn't right, your tone won't hit the mark like the way that you want it to. So let's break it down. When I was in Birmingham, I used to have really inexpensive gear. So it's crucial for me to make sure that my tone was top tier. I would spend a lot of time massaging to ensure that my tone can match those guys who had more expensive stuff. And that's why I want to share how you dial in your tone with you guys, because your tone has to be impeccable. Right before I moved to LA in the summer of 2013, I was outside with BET Music Matters sound checking, and my tone was dialed in perfectly. To the point, a lot of people were like, yo, bro, where are you from? And I told them I was from Birmingham. And they said, if you ever move to LA, you'll never stop working. Little did I know they were telling the truth, because I never stopped working once I moved. This one part of the guitar is actually one of the most important pieces in determining your tone. And what's that I'm talking about? I'm talking about the pickups. And what are guitar pickups? Pickups are devices that capture the vibration of the guitar strings and converts them into an electrical signal that can be amplified. I know it sounds like a bunch of gibberish, but essentially pickups are just microphones that are used on an electric guitar or an electroacoustic guitar. There are many different types of pickups, but I want to talk about three specific today, all right? You have your single coil, which are a lot brighter and a lot crisper. They're typically found on Strat style guitars. We have humbucker pickups. It's a thicker, warmer sounding. It's designed to reduce the noise and the hum. You find them on PRS guitars. You find them on Les Pauls and other style guitars like that. And one of my absolute favorites are P90. It's kind of a mixture between single coil and humbucker. They offer punchiness, mid-range, and they focus in on a lot of tone. Also, I didn't want to leave out acoustic guitars, right? So a lot of acoustics have piezos or microphone-based systems whenever you're using something that's an acoustic electric guitar. All right, let me show you some of what they look like and what they sound like. And this is a guitar that has single coils. All right, this is the guitar that has humbuckers. All right, this is the guitar with P90s. Some common mistakes are when you're getting a guitar, you just kind of play with whatever comes with the guitar. You don't take the time to kind of work through the tones to see what the tones sound like, and you just kind of get what you get. A bit of advice: you want to look for something that's warm, that's clear, not too muddy. Remember, this is an expensive hobby. It can get very pricey, so be careful as you go on this journey. And don't go down too many rabbit holes. You'll spend a lot of money chasing your tail trying to find the tone, right? One bit of advice I would say: listen to the guitar players that you like, that you love their tone. See what they're using. Try to find out their settings so that way you can use the same stuff and kind of see if it'll help kind of give you the tone that you're looking for. Another crucial piece for R&B is you want to stay on the neck pickup unless you're soloing. Then you want to go to the bridge. Remember, neck is for chording, bridge is for soloing with overdrive. Your neck pickup is your best friend for that warm, round, rich tone. And as I mentioned earlier, some of the guitars are a little bit more high gaining, so you want to roll back some of that tone until you find something that's smooth, and it's not too muddy, but it's not too bright. So we cover pickups and the settings, but that's only one part of the equation, which takes me to the next link in the chain into getting a great tone, and that's the amps and pedals. You have to dial them in to get to that sweet spot. You want to keep your amp clean, and you want to keep it warm, not too much high gain, not too much low gain, with just a little bit of mids, right? You want to add some light compression to your chain with your pedal boards, right? Because it evens out the dynamic. Now, I love a good reverb and I love a good delay, but you don't want to oversaturate it. Remember, less is more. So you want to kind of pull back a little bit. Now that we got all the equipment together, let's talk about what gives the tone what it is that's often overlooked a lot of times. It's the playing style. It's the sauce that brings it all together. When I started to play acoustic gigs many, many moons ago, I realized the importance of touch and the dynamics in my playing and how it was everything. So I began to place a lot of focus and to build that skill in those areas. These are the areas that you really want to work on if you want to improve your tone, because tone is in your hands as well. You want to work on things like your vibrato, not overbending the strings. You want to slide to give notes emotion. You want to work on muted strums, palm muting, chord embellishments, hammer-ons, pull-offs, arpeggios, for that signature R&B feel. And touch is everything. Play with a soft, controlled attack to keep it smooth, not overly aggressive. All right, so today we talked about 3 components, right? We talked about the pickups. There's so many guitars with different types, P90s, humbuckers, and single coil. We talked about making sure when we're playing R&B, we want to be on the neck pickup. Now, if we want to do soloing, we go to the bridge. Then we talked about amp settings, making sure that everything's dialed into that sweet spot. It all works together. Same with our pedal board, adding a little bit of compression, not too much reverb and delay. Less is more. And last thing that a lot of people just kind of overlook is the tone is in your hands. Working on those different techniques, working on playing with dynamics, working on making sure everything sounds great. But if you definitely want more help with R&B stuff, you want to check out this video.